Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and show you what I have in my collection. I'm going to try and get as much as I can here, like in the cases, and then I'm going to show you some of the bigger stuff that you don't see that aren't in the cases. That'll be a separate part at the end of the video. Okay, so starting with the top. That's not the top. That's the top. So, talking about this particular award, this was the Game Players Best Computer Conversion video game of 1989. Shadowgate, Kemco Seika, developed by Icom Simulations Inc. So, being a friend of Dave Marsh and working with him, he saw my Shadowgate collection and he gave me several one-of-a-kind items. This was one of them. This is probably one of my favorite things of the collection. It's just so freaking cool. It's heavy. That thing is metal at the top. That's solid metal. It's pretty cool. Just a really cool award to have. I used to actually have a subscription to Game Players, so that was really, really cool to see and have. Alright, so now let's get to some of the video game stuff. So, in line with the original Shadowgate, I have the B4 Shadowgate Worlds of Power book. I also have the Famicom version there. I have the original NES in box there, signed by Dave Marsh. Pretty cool. I've got the hint book behind it. Though it's not official, there's a Shadowgate soundtrack I found on eBay. It was kind of cool. It's really well done. It sounds good. It looks good. The disc and everything looks really good. I do have the original Beyond Shadowgate I picked up in 2000. Mint condition. It has the poster and the instruction manual. Really good. And then in the back there, they've got the Beyond Shadowgate PC Engine memories. Though that's not an official release, it does have really cool things like a poster and an art, like a small little art book in it. It's really neat. It looks really professionally done. Whoever did it did a great job. I really wish that had been like an actual deluxe edition release. That would have been really cool. So then we've got our Shadowgate 64. We had the original up front, still sealed. Really nice, in really good condition. We've got the one just to the left of it. That is the Shadowgate 64 Italian version. It looks like the US one, except it's got a black border over here. Super rare, really expensive. I don't know why it's so expensive, but it's really expensive. I think it was like, it goes for a couple $100 easy. Shadowgate 64, the Japanese version behind that, and the tip book behind that. So that's the first shelf. Okay, we're going to start with, or go on to the next shelf, which is the Shadowgate 2014 collection here. First off, right in the center, you've got the Staff of Ages replica here. I got this for payment for doing the Argonist trailer for Dave Marsh at Zojoy. So doing that, he had that specifically made just for me. Very cool. It's just gorgeous. It looks really nice. In the back, we do have the art book, 2014 Shadowgate. This is the hardbound one, or the hard cover. Behind it is the soft cover. So I do have both of those. Just down next to that, we do have the Quest with Shadowgate card game, which is what inspired the making of the board game. We can talk about that story later, but this is the postcard that comes with the limited run version of Shadowgate for the Switch and for the PlayStation 4. You can see I have one that's open and one that's still sealed. Inside of that, you'll get things like the soundtrack, which is in this little sleeve here. The Switch one comes with the really cool like NES case. It's really cool. There's also the it doesn't come with this, but this is one of those things you can buy. They have them online. It basically is, you can put your Switch game inside of like a little NES case. It doesn't play in anything or whatever. It's just a really cool little case. Thought that was neat. This is the art book that comes with that as well. There's the original Shadowgate soundtrack that comes with the 2014 version of the game. This is the 2014 box version of the game that you can get during the Kickstarter. This is the Play Choice 10. version of Shadowgate. They didn't actually create that. I found someone on eBay who actually makes them. It was really cool, so I was like, well, if I have to have every version of Shadowgate, why not get the Play Choice 10 version? So back here you'll notice that this is a vinyl soundtrack. I had that specifically made. This is not something that was an official release, but I had it made. It's really cool. It's 2 discs, 2 records, but really, really cool. I should talk Dave into like actually getting that made. That'd be really cool. I bet it would do well. It's very, very cool. No, don't fall over. All right. Okay, so that's the 2014 version of the game. So now we're going to get into old school stuff here. So I'll do the front real quick. This is the PAL A and PAL B version of Shadowgate boxed. Got the 8-bit anthology, PlayStation 4. From, I don't know if that was limited run. Yeah, limited run. Shadowgate Classic for the Windows PC, or sorry, the Pocket PC. Shadowgate Classic still sealed for the Game Boy. And Shadowgate Returns, which was the Japanese version of Shadowgate Classic for the Game Boy. Okay, now back to the old school Shadowgates. So we've got ones for the Macintosh. We've got ones for the Windows. I believe it's Windows 3.1. I found this still sealed. This is Shadowgate Deja Vu and Uninvited, still sealed. Super nice condition. I mean, you can eat off it. It's that clean. Really, really nice. And then all the big box and folio versions of the original Shadowgate. So you've got things like the Apple II, the Macintosh, got Atari ST. That was the big box version of Atari ST. I've got the folio version of Atari ST. Amiga, Macintosh, and another one sealed back there. I can't remember which one that was, but it's basically all of them. So, and then other rewards that you can get from the Kickstarter version were the 2 bumper stickers. Got Torch and It's a Sad Thing Your Adventures Have Been Here bumper stickers. I do have all 3 Shadowgate t-shirts from the 2014 Kickstarter. It was the Got Torch, Shadowgate, and the Grim Reaper, It's a Sad Thing Your Adventures Have Ended Here shirt. I did find someone on eBay who was selling a kind of a retro themed Shadowgate shirt based off the old box cover. It's okay. It's not the greatest material. I just thought it was kind of cool. I thought I'd wear it to a convention and stuff like that. It's pretty neat. So, okay, so this one we're going to get into prototype territory. So, this is the prototype to Beyond Shadowgate. This is what we used for the pictures for the Kickstarter. I have all the physical products here, and I'll be shipping, like putting those together and shipping them to you guys. So what you're seeing here is basically what you guys are going to get. But this is the prototype version there. Let's talk about some of this other stuff. The guy who does Shadowgate VR, he made this little Grim Reaper 3D printed. Really cool. He also made that Grim Reaper. Pretty cool. He does really good 3D art. And also, speaking of Shadowgate VR, they did have a cleaning cloth that I've got there. Really cool, based on the artwork for that, and a replica of the wand that you use in Shadowgate VR. Very, very cool. They've only had a couple of these made, so very neat. You'll see in the back that there is a picture of Raven and Garen from the Raven comic book. This is basically the prototype art that they came up with. Looks kind of like, I think it's Paul Dini's artwork. Really cool. So that was the artwork that Raven was based off of. Very neat. How cool would it be to see an animated version of Shadowgate like that? That'd be pretty cool. In front here, you've got a torch. This actually was something that they were considering making for the 2014 Kickstarter, that you could basically get a torch as one of the things you could buy into, but they never did. This is the prototype for it. That's the only thing that exists of that. So when it comes to prototypes, I have several Shadowgate prototypes. Very cool. Speaking of a prototype as well, we're going to talk about the board games down here. that 317 Games made. That's my company. But I'd be remiss to show you that there is a prototype 8-bit version of the entire game. It's complete. The whole thing is 8-bit. We're trying to talk to Trick or Treat Studios and seeing if they're interested in picking that up and doing that. We're not sure if they're going to do that at the time. This is the prototype of the commercial version. So this is the very first one off the line that we were showing off at the first Gen Con, that I had everybody from Trick or Treat Studios and 317 Studios sign. Pretty cool. To the left of that is the prototype version that we created. We had created at the gamecrafter.com. It has all of us, 317 Games signed it, and all of our online people that who helped us play test it. We met them in Massachusetts and had them sign it. Pretty cool. And this is a prototype version of the what would eventually become the commercial version. So the first thing Trick or Treat Studios had made was this version, and then this was the first one off the line. So there are a couple expansions to Shadowgate. We've got the Talamore Rising expansion for the commercial version, and then we've also got a Beyond Shadowgate expansion for the 8-bit version. So there's plenty of expansions for the board game. We hope to eventually get out. It'd be really, really good. So we put a lot of time and effort into those. Something that you can see in the background here, I do have all the posters from the 2014 version of Shadowgate all framed. So I've got the dragon one here, the gargoyle one is behind the other case, and the death one is behind this one. So these are some of the promotional materials that we were giving out at Gen Con and those kinds of things. So we've got the cleaning cloth for the board game. We had the name tag I used there. It's got scrolling text and animation and stuff. Pretty cool. These postcards here were for the Kickstarter we were handing out at Gen Con the first year we had it out, before we got picked up. The little badge ribbon, the little enamel pin of the Grim Reaper, the sticker for the Grim Reaper. This is an Argonus coin. Just looks really cool. We've got the two different years of the Dragon Egg that we were giving away at Gen Con. They're a little bit different, but we had those two. The badges from the Gen Con, another Shadowgate VR cleaning cloth, and you'll notice that the 3D characters back here are characters that we were toying around with trying to get inside the board game. So instead of using little hex pieces, you would actually use the characters themselves. These are all official Shadowgate characters that Adam from Shadowgate VR made. They look amazing. Okay, and in this binder we have the entire this is the original card set that was part of the board game. So these are all the original cards that we had, and all the cards from the expansions and 8-bit expansions and things like that. Pretty cool. Got some foil cards too. Pretty neat. Part of a booster pack. Foil versions of all the characters, trading cards. Really cool. Foil, shiny. These were the limited run game cards that came with the 8-bit anthology and the Shadowgate 2014 release for the PlayStation 4 and the Switch. So you see there's different cards that they came with. Pretty cool. And then the Quest of Shadowgate, all loose in here. That, like I said, was inspiration for what would be the eventual board game. And those are all the cards for Shadowgate. Next, I've got some things framed I'm going to show you. This is the 8-bit map that's going to be coming with the Beyond Shadowgate physical version. If you bought that, this is what's going to come with. Very cool. It fits perfectly in this frame. I don't remember what the dimensions are of it. I'll have to get those, but you can buy frames like this at Walmart really cheap. But it fits it perfect. Next we have the 2014 map that came with the 2014 physical version of the game. And when it comes to the Quest of Shadowgate, another thing that Dave Marsh gave me are basically uncut card sheets of the Quest of Shadowgate. Again, nobody else has these. They're really cool. Like I said, I was enamored with the card game because I thought it was really cool that they actually came out with a card game. And I do have some videos on my YouTube that show you how to play this card game, by the way. But there's 8 different frame, and it's like a set of the entire game, so it's really, really cool. If you ever did play test the Shadowgate board game with us at the conventions, there was this actual staff of ages that we had people hold, whoever the winners were, and they would be taking pictures of in front of a like a banner that said, "I defeated the Warlock Lord in the depths of Shadowgate." It's really cool. I may show you that stand up here in a little bit, but this is the staff of ages that we had people hold. It looked really, really cool. More pieces from Dave Marsh's personal collection are these foam core poster like materials. If they're foam core, they're very big. We got one for Deja Vu. We got one for Uninvited. And of course we got one for Shadowgate. Now the one for Shadowgate's not just the box art, which I thought was really cool. It's got some other things here saying something. And then it's got the skeleton hand on NES Advantage. Thought that was really cool. It's a little bit bigger than the other ones, so you can tell these were really cool promotional pieces, but again, part of Dave Marsh's collection. Okay, I'm gonna have to these two are very large banners. The one on the left is probably the best $100 I've ever spent, and let me tell you why. So when we were showing this off at Gen Con, the one banner that Trick or Treat Studios had was actually it was a kind of it was about the same size, but it had the dragon on it on the castle. If you've seen that poster, they were using that picture. Most people don't know Shadowgate from the dragon picture. They know it by the gargoyle picture. So what I did was I spent $100 and I got this made for Gen Con, and I set this just outside of the Trick or Treat Studios booth, facing outward, and I cannot tell you how many people stopped and was like, "I know that game." And so then that sparked the conversation, talking to people about the Shadowgate board game. Great conversations with people who absolutely love Shadowgate. Again, this is the best $100 I ever spent. This paid off in dividends for sure. This is the banner that we had people stand in front of when they were the winners of the board game at Gen Con. You'd be holding the Staff of Ages next to this one saying, "I defeated the Warlock Lord in the depths of Shadowgate, the Living Castle." Really cool. And then we put this like really cool effect on the Staff of Ages if you were holding it. So, but yeah, so again, 2 really awesome banners that paid off really well. We're showing them off at conventions. And that is my Shadowgate collection. Let me know if I'm missing anything, because I don't think I am. Other than maybe an NES prototype, which I saw online. Someone said they had. It was going for like $2,000, and I was like, my kids still like birthdays and Christmases, so I was like, nah, I'm not worried about that. But other than that, I don't even know if that was real or not. John Riggs apparently met the guy who bought it in Wisconsin. I was actually at the Wisconsin show, the guy who apparently had it, but I don't think it's ever been verified if it's actually a prototype. So that being said, it's been an honor to not only share with you my collection, be a part of the Shadowgate process. My company and my friends got a chance to help make the Shadowgate board game, but also be a part of the Beyond Shadowgate community and in helping its creation and process. So plenty of Shadowgate stuff more to come, I'm sure, and I'll be collecting at least one of each one of those, whatever it is in the future. So I thought about other projects and stuff, and talking with Dave, and maybe some new stuff coming out. So okay, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys later.